All right, starting over. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Thursday. One more time. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Thursday, May 11th. I slept well tonight, despite stumbling over my introductory words. Actually, it was last night that I slept well. Tonight hasn't happened yet. But I thought this was going to be a good show until these last few seconds. But so we'll see. It should be good. Past few days have been interesting shows. We did the afternoon on Tuesday. That was weird. Yesterday, I read Doug's personal cry for help message on the air. That was weird, but a little funny. Today should be better, I hope. Doug, how are you doing today? Have you recovered from that incident, that unfortunate incident?
That unfortunate intro? Is that the incident?
No, yeah, that was.
Or rough. You reading my personal notes on air. Yeah, I'm recovered. I'm good to go. Katie listened to it, which was funny. Oh, she listens to most of the episodes. She was out gardening last night. And she came in. She was like, "So Matt, Matt read your thing on the show," and I was like, "Yeah. What did you think?" She's like, "Oh, I thought it made you look good." So, so there you go.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have done it without your consent. And I went back and listened, and there was consent. It wasn't a really strong consent, but it was. You said okay.
I don't know. Is pressure is live feed consent?
Is that valid? I think it is. Yeah, you're experienced to this. You know, you're responsible for the things you say while we're on
here. Okay, that's fair. But I'm doing good, Matt. I'm doing good. I got some pretty good sleep last night and went out and ran this morning.
Okay,
so, doing all right. Doing good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Anne Marie is here. Mr. Jeffrey's here, and Bianca is joining us on a rare Thursday. She usually comes only Fridays, but her 50 miler is this Saturday.
Oh,
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize it was so soon. But she says it's Saturday, and she's driving to Oklahoma later. So yeah, I think that means this week. So that's awesome. Has it really been a whole month of her non-drinking challenge leading up to it? It seems like too long.
I guess so. Maybe so. Yeah, she started a week after us, I think, maybe 2. But that's awesome, Bianca. I'd love to know how you're feeling about it. And yeah, just super stoked for you. It's great.
Yeah. Phyllis Hauser, new commenter, has been here a couple times recently. She says hi. Me Time Plants and Sarah Slemp, Kate Rivercat, all familiar names. Always good to see everybody. Yeah, good morning. We have a fun show today. Before we get into our stuff, I guess I should first remind everyone that we are sponsored every day by Compliment, which is plant-based supplements that lovecompliment.com. I'm out of wacky lines and catchphrases, but that's okay. Better than doing what Oatly does.
As you were signing in here, and as I was laughing to your failed intro, I was thinking about not the days that seem so long ago, but really are not that long ago, when I would try to come up with something new and interesting for every entrance of myself.
Right.
Long gone are those days, which I'm glad. Yeah. You were right to push me away from that.
Yeah. If the mood hits you right, you have a little dance or something one day. That's fine. But it just very quickly after a couple of them, there's nothing else to do. Yeah. So for the best. Okay, good. So that's all great. Anything else going on, Doug? You have a Thirsty Thursday tonight, no doubt, with your band. Should be nice for you to get to relax after this stressful week you've had.
Indeed.
So we'll all enjoy knowing you're doing that.
And this was my my second full week post dry challenge that I've successfully done the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no alcohol. And it's going well. I think this is here to stay for a while anyway.
Good. That's great. For my part, I have not very well kept up any I'm not going to say I haven't done anything good, but I definitely have not kept up the no drinks on weekdays thing that I thought would last. That only lasted like a week. But I'm having very little amount of drinks on weekdays. And when I just started is I'm having them like before the soccer practice stuff rather than after, which it sounds a little unhealthy that I need to kind of prepare and like rearrange the schedule of
so you're
having
showing
some
up
wine.
to your kid's soccer practice, little buzz.
Well, but that's a built-in prevents me from having 2 glasses. I'll just have half or 1.
Right.
And then I feel like I kind of scratch the itch of like ending the day, having a little separator relaxation time, and then the much bigger deal, much more motivator for me to do it is that then any effect of that alcohol, including tiredness, it has worn off by the time actual bedtime arrives. so that I won't then be tempted to go to bed early, because that doesn't work for me. It makes me sleep really badly. So I don't really hate that plan. It sounds a little weird. I think it does. I don't want to joke about alcoholism. I'm not trying to make fun of it, but like it does feel a little bit weird to say like I'm just kind of rearranging my schedule and I'm like intentionally drinking earlier now.
Right.
It just feels weird. But I do think maybe it's a good practice, and we'll see what happens. Maybe eventually it would just lead to having weekdays around on 181.
Yeah, I mean it's a habit disruptor, right? And that could change into this new pattern, or it could be this the first step into something bigger, something much different.
Yeah, right. Very possible. Okay. What else? I mean, anything else in the way of
you know what I had for dinner last night?
Perfect segue. What'd you have? Exactly.
So Katie is leaving town this weekend.
Love that, right?
Love that.
Well, when the wife goes out of town, you get to...
Oh yeah, wife goes out of town, leaves you with the kids. It is Mother's Day.
You get to stay up late, just kind of bachelor it up.
We're gonna watch a bunch
days.
of movies, eat a bunch of pizzas or something. I don't know. Do all the fun stuff. No, I mean I'm with the girls though. She's not leaving town without.
No, I know.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of kidding. I don't love it.
Yeah.
But I do end up staying up later and watching movies and all that stuff. So
totally. We're gonna have a good time. Yeah. This will be the longest that Chloe, our 2-year-old, has gone without her. She's been gone for 4 days. But anyway, she's leaving town, and it's Mother's Day weekend. So we celebrated Mother's Day last night. And she wanted a hearty pasta with just broccolini and then a red sauce with Beyond Meat. And so we just made a little bolognese sauce. I guess that's what a bolognese sauce is. And honestly, it was so good. It was so good.
Good. You put the broccolini in there, or that's a side dish?
We put it on top, to the side. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've done that a lot. Good. With Beyond ground meat that you just
Beyond ground meat, just ground it up.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of onion and garlic, and then just added a can of red sauce. We didn't even make our own red sauce. Added a jar of red sauce, and man, it was just so delicious. Not good for you at any stretch of the word, but very delicious.
Good. Well, that's good. I like meat like that. What kind of pasta did you use?
Just whole wheat wheel pasta.
Okay.
With the, so not even that creative or good of a pasta.
No, that's all right. It's a good meal. I do like the greens on top of the pasta, or the broccolini or broccoli rabe on top of the pasta. Good choice. I had Italian beanball subs that Erin made last night. She makes these beanballs from scratch. I think they're in the No Meat Athlete revised edition of No Meat Athlete original book. Not the original, but the revised. So we had that on some good ciabatta bread, white bread, but it was good. And some red sauce, store-bought. Had to go to a soccer game in the night, so good quick meal. Yeah, okay. So that's that. All right, really quick before we get going, Drew Design says, Matt, why don't you have an NAB, a rapid forward to scratch that itch? NAB is non-alcoholic beer. I don't know what rapid forward is, but I don't know. It just doesn't quite scratch the itch for me. It does, and I actually did have one last night when I got home from the soccer game. So that perfect example, right? Like that's bedtime, but it's not going to keep me up. Had a nice little Heineken NA can, and it was good. But I also had a little, 3/4 of a glass of Primitivo in the early evening when I ate Italian beanball sub. So it was perfect. All right, good enough. Let's get to the new thing, Plant Slant. It's called. I realized Plant Slant is one of the Blue Zone's their 9 pillars of longevity.
Oh, there you go.
Plant Slant is one of them. It's like just their catchy way of saying tend your diet towards plants.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm gonna keep pushing for plant-based headlines. The daily plant-based headlines.
PBMS headlines. People won't know what that is if they're new on YouTube.
I mean, I don't know. We gotta have something that people understand. I love Plant Slant, but it's also you slant towards plants.
Right. And if you say the Plant Slant headlines, it seems like we're kind of going to give these biased headlines.
Good point.
It's going to seem like we're veg news when we're not. we try to tell both sides of the story.
No, the Plant-Based Morning Show is completely unbiased. I mean, we do a great job, but of course we're both vegan, so there's some built-in biases there.
Of course. But we acknowledge that. Let's get to it. Here we go. Your plant-based headlines for Thursday, May 11th. Doug, you're going to pull these up for us on the screen. I hope. Everyone's going to be thrilled to hear that Oatly is at it again. First of all, they're a Swedish company. I didn't know that. But Veg News tells us they're taking Big Dairy to task about that footprint with a new campaign. That footprint being the carbon footprint, which is earlier in the article from which I lifted this paragraph. They took out full-page ads, and they took these huge billboards in Times Square and Hollywood Boulevard that are basically calling out the dairy industry, challenging them to share their carbon footprints. And so the occasion for this is that Oatly has become the first product, period, the first company in North America to display the climate impact of its products on its packaging. Did you know that about Oatly, Doug? We knew they had zany, wacky ads. I didn't know that they were pioneering with transparency.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. So then what they've got here is these two huge billboards next to each other. One has, in one place, they're like across the street from the other, one another. In another, they're on a corner. And it says, we bought 2 billboards to tell you we've begun including climate footprint numbers on our products. And then shows the Oatly carton and their climate footprint 0.62, whatever the units are. And then it says, and we're donating this one to the dairy industry so they can tell you their climate footprint numbers too. And then it shows a milk container and a question mark and then a little QR code where I think it allows the dairy companies to actually respond to the challenge.
Yes, so would they, the question is, would they actually put up a billboard for a dairy company?
Right. That's what I'm wondering. Like, this doesn't make me cringe like their other stuff does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sick of them, to be honest. And their ads, I don't know what it is. I just don't like them. Maybe I don't like loudness. Maybe when it comes to spreading stuff, I don't know. It's okay. I guess it's better than just an ad saying our product is good. Buy it.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's creative. I think it's like you said, we've had some Oatly ads that we have strongly disapproved of. But I think this is a good one for them to kind of demonstrate that they're being transparent around their climate footprint. It's not zero, right? I think that the motivation is that it's a lot better than the dairy industry, or at least that's what they're implying. And so now calling out the dairy industry to show their numbers, sure, why not? If you care about the climate, I think that's a good way to promote your product.
Maybe they're playing a long game here, and they really are hoping that dairy is going to respond in some way, and that this conversation is going to keep going. But to me, like in the short timeline, it's just like I wish the other billboard like said, and now we're going to tell you dairy's numbers, and it shows the average dairy industry number, because it just seems like you're going to drive by this thing and we'll never hear from this again. Like I just don't think we're ever going to see the dairy number on this ad or next to it. I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe they have more in mind, but I don't know. I just wish they would stop.
I don't know. Like, what could Oatly put out a billboard that you were into?
Yeah, if they want to just said, if they put the dairy one on the other side, I would say that's a pretty good, impactful thing. Yeah, you see a number, and then you turn the page or look around the corner, and now you've got a number that's 50 times bigger or something.
But then you would say, oh, but they're just cherry picking the like worst offenders, right, or
I probably would
or something like that, or they're just they're looking at a study that was done by a plant-based slant, I don't know, that wasn't fair or something like that. I think that like giving a brand an opportunity to like come up with their own numbers, and throw those out there, sure. I think that's good. As Mr. Jeffrey says here, but I think the point is that this is trying to say that dairy isn't transparent, and that I think that's right. I agree with that. I like it. Good job, Oatly.
Well, I like the Oatly products. I don't boycott them or anything. They're sponsoring minor league baseball. I like that. But just enough with the ads. Like, come on. You're a company that makes oat milk. Just do that. We don't need this stuff. All right. On to the next one. Daily Mail tells us that Bear Grylls, our favorite guy recently, Doug, says he's embarrassed that he used to promote veganism. And he's now shunned vegetables completely in favor of red meat. We kind of knew that about him. We knew that he had done that. We didn't know he was embarrassed. We knew that he had acknowledged that he had a vegan book out before about juicing and fresh veggies and all this other stuff. But he's got some quotes here about it that I think are interesting. First of all, he says that his previous plant-based diet was such an unhealthy way to live. He says, I was vegan quite a few years ago. In fact, I wrote a vegan cookbook and I feel a bit embarrassed because I really promoted that. I thought that was good for the environment and I thought it was good for my health. And through time and experience and knowledge and study, I realized I was wrong on both counts. I was having salads every day. I would really crave junk food and once or twice a week have cheat meals, a real blowout of whatever you want, burgers, pizzas, etc. He says, you're basically starving for 80% of the time and then you're binging for the rest. That's not good for the body. I now find I'm always full when I'm eating so much meat and eggs and butter and fruit and honey. I'm never hungry. So there you go.
I mean, looking at this Instagram post or Twitter tweet that he put out, I mean, you're not going to be hungry after eating that. That's for sure.
No.
You can count on not being hungry. You might be starving for nutrients, but
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you would feel good on that. I really don't. Like, I'm trying not to be biased here. It just, I can't imagine eating a plate of that and like for the next 3 hours feeling at all okay.
Right.
And the interesting thing to me is, like, I think he must know this, right? Because he's been on this side of it as well.
Yeah, right.
And so I don't think, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine. Maybe he's just not a genuine person, or maybe he just like gets so into whatever he's into that he forgets what it used to be. But that's the confusing part for me. Like, I feel like he at least has my respect for having been on the other side, and now he can say this is way better. That's fine. Much better than someone who's never tried our version,
sure,
and saying, hey, I feel so good eating all this stuff. Look at all this meat and sausage and brains and whatever else I'm eating. But he actually has that experience on the other side. So I don't know what to make of it. I'm stumped.
Yeah. I mean, like, to say that you're embarrassed for promoting it and writing a book for it. I mean, like, you believed it at the time, and I mean, there's just no way you can, like, I don't know. It's surprising to me. It's a little bit troubling in some ways of like, I think that when someone leaves the vegan diet and probably leaves any diet or anything that they've been passionate about or kind of promoted in the past, they feel this need to go to the other extreme, right?
Mm-hmm.
And bash whatever.
Like, I don't know if it's anybody. It's anybody who makes their livelihood and business about going to one extreme, right? Then when they stop that, when they have to go to the other extreme.
They have to go to the other extreme, and then they have to like justify that big switch in so that people can somehow understand or something why they did the switch, right? I feel so much better, and I was starving 80% of the time, and all that stuff. Like, maybe you were just doing it wrong. Maybe you were just like not really following a very healthy plant-based diet, and or too healthy of a plant-based diet, to where you were you were actually hungry all the time. But that doesn't mean that it's not for everyone, and that doesn't mean that you should be embarrassed by it. Like, own your experiences. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just there's a lot going on that is not exemplary, I guess, or it should not be how people unfortunately take their cues for how they should then eat and how they should, right? Because eat, like we said, or like you said, either side that he went on, he probably did it in a very extreme way, because his book was about whatever raw and juicing and all that. It wasn't just like eat a balanced vegan diet and make sure you include lots of beans and grains and all. It was just like, go all the way raw, whatever. I don't know actually know what it was, but I just think the book was like about juicing and stuff. So yeah, very possible that's just not the best way to do it. And I just tend to think about this way about everything. Like, any diet that's kind of extreme, like that's really far out there, far from the way we probably evolved to eat. And I would say his most recent one is as well. I don't really know how you could pretend that like this is actually the way people always ate all the time with all the organ meats and everything. It just seems far-fetched. But yeah, I just think like once you stray too far, and even vegan diet, like I get like like I said before, I think last week, like it comes with, to me, an obligation to take some supplements to make it a little closer to a natural thing, so that you get some more omega-3s in there, perhaps, or certainly. you get B12. Right? Like you need to do some stuff. You can't just eat this diet that's not one that a lot of populations have eaten for a long period of time. You got to do some stuff. And so I just think the more extreme your diet is, the less likely it's going to work. And it's just, it appears he's going from one extreme to another. And you know what? No wonder you feel better when you make the switch, because when you go to one of these extreme diets, you're going to develop some kind of deficiencies or whatever. And then you go back the other way and you suddenly fill all those, voids that were there before, and you feel great for a while. And then a few years later, there's going to be some other deficiencies or problems to come, and then you'll switch again to somewhere else, and then you'll feel great when you switch. And I think that's just what happens.
Yeah, and my guess is that he will come out of this in a couple of years and fall somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, if he makes it a couple of years. This is like asking for a heart attack.
I mean, the dude has survived on like drinking his own urine and doing all kinds of other weird stuff. So, maybe.
Yeah, well, he's a survivor, so maybe he will keep surviving. He does now start every workout with 25 pull-ups, 50 press-ups, 75 squats, and 100 sit-ups in one go, which he says he could never do that before. That sounds really hard. It's really not that hard to do that. It's like a common
Speak
CrossFit.
For yourself. 25 pull-ups. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it takes I don't know, you have to rest a little bit. Maybe he does them all in one thing without a single break. But like that was a CrossFit workout that I did on my running thing when I was doing the running CrossFit thing. What that was called, the name of it. But anyway, like it was hard, and it was I mean, that was the workout itself. That wasn't the warm up for every single workout. But I just don't believe that he could never do that before. It's wrong.
Or that eating that steak and stuff and burger is what is causing him to be able to do that. Like it can't be nutritional.
No. Unless he would say it has built a lot of muscle with that diet, and now because of that muscle, he can do this stuff. But no, I'm just not buying that. And of course, we got to say here that he's selling organ or whatever blood, bone marrow supplements. He's selling that as well, and that like accompanies these organs and whatever else food. So he's got a brand now to promote and fit this story. So just like we do with ours, not pretending that we don't have our own line of supplements. But yeah, I don't know. Just I find it interesting. You know what? The Daily Mail with the article, I think that they're kind of like anti-vegan usually, right?
Yes,
is that correct? This article is entirely fair, and like their headline has that sensational thing. It says Bear Grylls says he's embarrassed that he ever promoted veganism and now shuns veggies completely in favor of red meat. But then the article actually is about they quote Bear Grylls, and then they have some nutritionist expert point out the fallacies in what he's saying when it comes to the environment, when it comes to your health, and then they show this chart of like a well-rounded plate, which they've used before and we've seen. It's actually a fair article, like that's kind of it almost takes the plant-based side, but it's not that far from just sort of neutral, showing goods and bads about each side.
Well, that's good.
So I was impressed with that.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, last one, Italy, my favorite country well, I don't know if it's my favorite country, but I like eating their food. Italy's agriculture minister, Francesco Lollobrigida, told Reuters
Told the Reuters
that lab-grown food is potentially dangerous for human health, calling it a slush, in quotes. I don't know if he knows the word slush, but maybe they translated the English or Italian into that. That would never taste like natural meat or fish. I mean, there's more here, but when you read that, it's like, who makes a claim like that? It would never taste like natural meat or fish. Like, he probably hasn't tasted the lab-grown food.
Right.
I'm not saying he doesn't know something about the process. Maybe he knows a ton about the biochemistry and really believes it is impossible to make this taste like natural meat or fish. But like, we've seen a bunch of people taste test it and then go say it was really good. So just like the evidence seems to point that it will taste like natural meat or fish. I'm not saying it's going to be the same as their protected products and all these things. But that just sounds like, I don't know how old this person is. It just sounds like the old guard being afraid of the change and just proclaiming that it can never be the same as this old way, just because.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like someone who hasn't tried it, one, who has a strong bias, two, and three is not open-minded enough to even like give it a go.
Yeah, right. the closed-mindedness is definitely.
Yeah, I just Googled his name. And the first headline that comes up is, quote, "I'm not racist," which, if that's the
Right.
that's the headline that comes up, then there's usually
Yeah.
there's something happening here.
Right.
He doesn't look that old. I mean, he looks like he's in his 50s or 60s.
Who knows? Maybe he's got that Italian longevity and he's actually like 100 and he just
Maybe,
looks
yeah,
naturally.
could be.
Anyway, the government has argued, of course, that cell-based products have not proven to be safe, and they approved a bill to ban the production and sale of synthetic foods in Italy last month. We talked about that, or 2 months ago when we talked about that. Then the ban still needs to pass Parliament. Doug, you as our lawmaker extraordinaire, do you know how the EU politics work? Like, is that Parliament the European Union Parliament that an Italian law needs to pass because they're part of the union, or is there an Italian Parliament that it's
there's definitely an Italian Parliament. Every country still has their own form of government.
It's always a Parliament? I just thought Parliament was like a British thing and then an EU thing.
No, it's just a different way to structure your government.
Okay.
Than us.
Okay, good. So their ban still needs to pass that Parliament, and of course, as we know, aims to protect their country's culture and food heritage, and I would say their tourism interests and their exporting interests, of course, from technological innovations. So that's the heart of the issue, right? Is it good to protect cultures and heritages from technological innovations? When do we yield in the face of technology, and when do we say this is too much? It's not good. They said, we reject the idea of standardizing products, making them all the same in laboratories, erasing our culture tied to the land. And then the last thing here is he plans to also create a rating system to distinguish Italian restaurants worldwide that use genuine Italian ingredients from those that don't. See, that I like. I like a nice
I'm okay
thing
with
that would recognize that certain ones are upholding the heritage and culture.
Like the Made in America designation or something like that. I mean, like,
right.
That stuff is great. And I think that protecting, I have no problem with protecting a farming technique or a farming philosophy or whatever, no problem with that, as long as you're allowing for innovation in other ways. Like you can say this is raised a certain way, this produce or cattle or whatever is raised a certain way, and we're going to protect that and have a designation around that. But then if you want to go off and lab grow your meat another way, then go for it. But we're going to protect this and we're going to label that. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. So there we go. Yeah, for me, as much as I like Italian food, I can't wait till the cultivated meat allows me to make bolognese sauce with cultivated real meat without harming animals. I'll be excited for that.
In the meantime, I'm telling you, pretty good with the Beyond Meat.
I've had it before and it's not. It just isn't. I've done it. I was hopeful.
I mean, it was just so satisfying. Honestly, it was such a satisfying meal.
When I did it, it took all day long to simmer the sauce. It was a serious sauce recipe, and it just tasted like Beyond Meat to me. It just tasted like whatever that taste is. I never realized Beyond Meat had a very specific taste, but it does. That like fatty mouthfeel they create that sort of seems, when you're eating one, seems like a real burger. It was all I could taste. I just didn't like it. So since then, I've used their Italian sausages, which of course is not what the recipes usually call for, but I think that does a better job, in my opinion. But just my opinion. You obviously loved yours. Katie, I hope, loved it.
She did.
But yeah, wouldn't recommend it. All right. A couple comments here from the nice people. Let's see. People are saying, sorry, I had a few that I wanted to read. First of all, Mr. Jeffrey says, speaking of pull-ups, Doug, where are we at with those? And we were on the same thing the other day. Aaron asked me what you were doing, and I said, I'm not really sure. I think he's still doing them.
Oh yeah, still going. I think I'm gonna do a live one sometime soon. Not a live pull-up.
Live pull-up?
Like do a live check-in and actually let you guys watch me.
Wait, is it live pull-up? Or you mean, okay, so you can do several live pull-ups.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can do like 2, maybe 3 without touching the ground. I can do 8 if I just touch the ground for 1 second and reset. There's something about that transition of going down and then like dropping all the way down. Something about it is I like.
Well, I hear you. I mean, I don't think that is unique to you because when I do a true set of dead hang pull-ups and go all the way down between each one, it gets really hard after a few. And it's that part, right? If you just go 3/4 of the way down, you can just crank them out. But those last few inches are really difficult.
So that's where I am. I'm still doing them. It's like 2 or 3 times a day, I would say, for 5 minutes max. So it's I'm sure I could do more and increase speed here, but I don't know. This has been really consistent, and I'm seeing some progress. So I'm happy with it.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. People are not in favor of Bear Grylls, surprisingly. I can't believe our audience doesn't like that he's saying he's embarrassed about this diet. Yeah, they're saying he must want to just release a new cookbook. He's just after money. Someone said that, at least we didn't change our entire diet in order to sell supplements. Your message has been plant-based vegan since day one. Right, that's right. We made the supplements because we needed them for exactly the reasons I said. And then next intro, Bianca says, come in with pull-ups, please. That'd be good. Have the camera just on you, cranking them out when it goes to you.
Oh, hey, guys. Just hanging here. Doing some
all right, and Mr. Jeffrey has identified the problem with our discussion about the Beyond Meat. I think that is the problem, though. Matt is making a deluxe sauce. Doug just did a quick one. Yep, that's what always happens. Beyond works in certain scenarios, and I don't think fancy food is one of them. We had the same problem with the pizza toppings, right? And Mr. Jeffrey said that I was right when it comes to gourmet, authentic pizza. I don't want to ruin all that good sauce and crust with all these toppings, but when Doug just orders it with his bandmates and, stuffs in his mouth, whatever, anything goes. Just is that fair assessment?
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Yeah. I mean, we were intentionally making a quick meal last night. That didn't take more than 20 minutes to do, So we're talking about two different things if you're spending all day cooking up a delicious sauce.
Yeah. And the problem is, by the way, I don't have a solution for how to make a delicious gourmet bolognese sauce, right? You just can't. It's not like the sausage I use for a lot of things, but I won't try that recipe again because I am just worried it'll taste like fake meat, and I don't want that. Okay, good. Let's get to some articles, Doug. We promised wellness gifts for mom, so let's jump into that one.
Okay.
We've also got this vegan strength and training myths from Veg News, which actually they did a very nice job with. I love this article. We may get it today. We may save it for Friday when I can speak more clearly, I hope, because today a lot of stumbles.
Who wrote that Veg News article? Do you know?
Someone new. I was reading it and I said, I bet this is Tanya because this is just good. Turns out no, it was not Tanya. It was Karina Inkster. So with a name like that, she was destined for a career in journalism, right?
There you go.
Inkster. See, she's getting put in ink.
Inkster. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's putting a lot of ink on the.
Yeah, great, Matt. Good joke.
Yeah, thanks. All right, so let's do wellness gifts because if you're gonna get a wellness gift for mom, you've only got till Sunday, and that's not very long.
Act fast. Yep.
Yeah, right. So we can't save it till tomorrow. Veg News has their own vegan gifts for mom. If you want to go read that one, I started looking at it. It was too much like bath bombs and like stuff that I'm not interested in. I guess it's not for me though. The holiday, it's for my mom. So it's going to be things that I'm not interested in. But some of these actually was interested in, so that's why I picked this one to talk about.
I find it really interesting that you're interested in this because I looked at this and I thought, I don't think that any mom would want any of this stuff. So this will be interesting.
You're right. It's stuff that I would kind of want. So maybe that's certainly why I picked it. All right, we won't spend long here, and I don't know if we'll get to the other one or not. Number one thing, methodology 5-day reset. This immediately grabbed my attention because one of the things I've thought about getting my mom for Mother's Day is a Prolon fast kit, which I talked at length about last week, and she's never done it. Anyway, this one costs $429 from Methodology. That's way more than the Prolon kit costs. Apparently, though, with Methodology, I've never heard of this brand before. It's only 5 days of food for $429. I mean, you could go out to pretty good restaurants every meal and spend that.
No kidding. And it looks like it's just salads and juice and stuff.
Yeah, and they're just in jars, like in that kind of fancy presentation.
See, oh man, I mean, if I gave Katie, and this is not a reflection of Katie, I think that this is if any husband gives their wife on Mother's Day something that's going to make them hungry for the next 5 days and costs $500. Like, that's crazy. Do not do this. I mean,
I think
you might want to support them to do this in a future time, right?
Yeah,
But
and if unless they had shown some interest in it, like my mom has this strong interest in longevity and health and all that, so that's why I thought. But even then, I had this sort of same logic you're having. Is like that might be a nice practical gift or thing to support someone with, but it's not really like a fun thing to get on Mother's Day. The idea that now you have to do this hard thing. So I agree with you. It's a bad one. It's supposed to be a gut, or it will support a healthy gut. Surprise! 5 full days of tasty lunches, salads, dinners. And it comes in these boxes. You can choose vegan, or you can get meat and seafood.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. It's just I don't know much about their methodology. See what I did there, Doug? Because that's the name of the company. But
good.
it's very possible
You're on a roll today.
It's very possible you'd eat this diet and come out maybe less healthy than you were before. And that might be wrong. I don't really know. But I'm just not gonna get that. Not gonna get.
No.
All right, number 2.
I think that's a terrible idea. Okay, number 2.
Yankee Candle times Vera Bradley 3-wick candle. So I guess the 2 candle giants have collaborated to make the ultimate candle. Doug, you've said before that you have definitely bought candles as gifts for women before, maybe middle school, high school era.
Yep. Of
What
course.
do you think about this?
I mean, I think it's great if you're getting dropped off at the mall by your parents.
Yeah, you're right. Then it is a good gift.
I mean, how many different articles have we read now about how scented candles are bad for you and bad for your air quality and stuff? I'm a thumbs down this one as well. Although, I mean, I do love a good candle every now and then.
Right, I know you do. But I thought you might like it, but no, okay. All right, number 3, a cozy and cute PJ set, $27 at Lovelet. I don't know what that brand is, and I think almost everyone appreciates a nice set of PJs, so this isn't a terrible gift.
I'll give this one a thumbs up.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. I've never really bought clothes for almost anybody. It's just, I don't know how I would even do that. I mean, I don't even buy clothes for myself very much. So it just seems like a big, bold thing to say, hey, you're going to like how this looks.
That's why PJs are great, because it doesn't really matter. They're not like stylish so much as long as it's quality and comfortable. They don't have to be like your going out outfit or something.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. All right, number 4, nighttime wellness tea from Blue Bear Sleep, $48. I don't know how much you get for that. You get a 4-pack for $16 or a 12-pack for $48. So that's for the 12-pack. $4 per tea, not cheap for sure. But if it's good, then it's good. I don't know if it contains. It says lavender, lemon balm, passion flower. Tastes incredible, like sweet peaches, which might mean it has some sugar in there. I don't know. Just it's okay. Kind of boring.
Yep, I'm gonna thumbs down this one as well.
Okay, number 5, a Luxe bath pillow. I used to take my real pillow in the bath in college, and that was a disaster. That was not recommended.
Wait, what? Oh my god! No wonder you have to switch pillows all the time. Yeah. They come back soaking wet.
I haven't done it in a long time.
Okay.
I didn't know better in college. I've had a lot of mildew in my life in college. At least 3 different instances there were mildew attacks in my life.
Okay.
Because we did a foam party once, not thinking that it would sink into the carpet. Often would leave the clothes in the washer way too long and then move them to the dryer still like after a week, and they would just smell terrible.
A week?
Yeah, we just didn't have good habits of any kind. And then I was taking baths even back in college. I've always been a bath fan. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought I'd bring the pillow in there a couple times, and that you can't dry it. It's just wasn't good.
That is so funny. That's great.
But there is a $200 one at Bata Sofa. I don't know how to pronounce that. But they've got a pillow that goes nicely in the bath. I think that'd be a pretty nice thing to have. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with this one. Although I will tell you, I'm more okay with that inflatable hot tub behind the picture there.
Oh yeah.
So fun fact about me this past weekend is I don't know how fun fact this is, but I had coffee. I got invited to an early morning play date, where the kids got invited to an early morning play date to a inflatable hot tub that our friends had just bought. We had coffee, watched the kids splash around in the hot tub. They turned the temperature down a little bit, so it was like a perfect temperature for them. And man, that thing was awesome. That thing was super cool. I really want to buy one.
I've never known anyone to have an inflatable hot tub. So how do you regulate the temperature?
It has like a whole setup. It has a filtration system and jets and
So water's going in and out the whole time, and it's changing the temperature. It's not just like taking the hot water you put into it and leaving it hot or something.
No. It's
keeping
it's cycling through. Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it's a full-on hot tub, just inflatable. And
Huh.
they're like $500.
And why is it better than a bathtub? Because it's a lot of people can go in it, sit around in circles.
Yeah, bigger.
Okay.
You can do it outside. You can.
Right.
I'm sure it's hotter. It's probably less water waste.
Okay. Good. Well, I like that too. All right. Number 6. Recently, photo magazine app. Just skip that.
Yeah.
Too complicated. Brilliant Blooms dinnerware set. This is just colorful dinnerware. It looks like that old like blue china that you would always see, except it's not blue. It's all different colors. Kind of interesting. $54 at Walmart. Another tough one. You got to make sure the person really likes those dishes before you get
Or
them
needs
a whole
dishes.
set of them. Yeah, or needs dishes. You're right. They could be a minimalist and just have one, wash it now and then.
or just have a nice set already and not need
Right.
new dishes.
All right. Advanced whitening electric toothbrush. Toothbrush seems like a weird gift, but I somehow can see my mom liking a toothbrush if that was given to her. I don't really know. It seems like an okay gift to me. If they've expressed interest before, I probably wouldn't just go out and get them this.
Yeah. I mean, see, this is another one of like, I mean, I can kind of see my mom, enjoying this gift or like a practical gift for my mom. But if I'm thinking about giving a gift to Katie or having like my kids give a gift to Katie, there's no way a toothbrush would be what we're looking at. No way.
Yeah, it's fair. I agree. It's kind of too practical, right? It's like the classic husband gift that is a disaster.
Yeah.
It's a practical thing that we need. Got to buy it anyway, probably. So just put it up as a gift and then.
Exactly. The thing you've been asking or wishing or wanting us to buy for a while now. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, now here's your big one. The Somavedic. I teased this one a little bit yesterday. $750. It's a one-of-a-kind device that exudes energy from precious and semi-precious stones to deliver frequency therapy and natural science to mom's home. Creates a coherent, life-supporting field that spans over 2,800 square feet. That's almost as big as the campus, the cultivated meat campus. So you could put 4 of these in there, and you'd have that whole campus full of life-supporting field. It would be kind of nice for something that has already saving so many lives. Anyway, it's by the company called Sky, and it's called the Somavedic, as I said. And sense of calm, harmony, balance, increased concentration, improved sleep. I mean, I have some of those lamps that are the orange salt rocks. You know those things, those pink. We have that. I kind of thought that was doing this, and it was only like $70. But maybe this is way different.
I mean, 5 thumbs up for me on this one. Worth every penny, without a doubt. It is going to be life changing. I have no doubt about it. That natural science is the way to go for sure. And and yeah, all the thumbs up. I've already ordered 3 of them. So.
I mean, there are some moms for whom this would be the best gift ever, I think.
Oh, totally.
Right?
I'm just joking. I mean,
I
people
do.
would love it.
No, if you gave me this, actually, if someone gave me this, I would say, wow, what a waste of money. But I'd still would like probably succumb to the placebo effect. And I'd put it on all the time. And I'd probably say that I feel better while it's on. And you know what? If you say you feel better, you partly probably do feel better. Yeah. Right. So there you go. I'm really not against placebo effects. As long as they're not harming, as long as it's not pseudoscience, it's harming somebody. And it's just making somebody some money, whatever, fine.
Oh, I would totally use it if someone gave me one, but there's no way I would buy one. Not for $750.
There's also the problem. This is me and unknown risks. Like alkaline water seems good until studies come out and say that it actually is not that good, and it might actually be damaging your organs. And like the same thing, the coherent life supporting field. Like if that's not the environment you're meant to live your entire life in, whatever these waves are. And I get that there could be some benefits, maybe even non-placebo that happens in a very short term. But like, what if you're not supposed to have that on all the time for 10 years? And we just don't know it yet because no one's ever bothered to test it.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. That scares me.
That's true. That's a good point. Is alkaline water, are there studies that say alkaline water is bad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
In fact, our water filtration, we have a water device under the sink that like you just turn on cold water and it's automatically filtered. Erin is very good. She always installs this thing in all of our houses. As you can probably gather, Erin does any work that is ever done in our houses to make them better. She just is always does it. I don't do anything. I wish I did. I just don't. They sent around all this propaganda about how bad alkaline water is, because protecting their interest. They're the filtered water business, and they don't want you thinking you're drinking alkaline and you don't need their product anymore. But I've seen other less biased evidence for that. All right, last thing, the Forever Peeler, $28 at Material Kitchen. It's one of those Y-shaped peelers. I don't know what the name of them is, but we have one that's plastic and it's really nice. I like it.
Is it different than another peeler?
Yeah, it's Y-shaped. It's not like the one that's just a straight line. You know what I mean? Where you just have a straight thing you hold and just I don't know.
I mean, but like, does it peel any differently? It's just how you hold it.
It's just entirely how you hold it. So with certain vegetables, it just is more natural to do it than having to always
go down instead of side.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems to be what more top pro chef types use. And
okay. See that. Makes you feel better.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess this one has a very, well, I don't even know. I'm not sure this is good. It's made from indestructible materials, so it's better than the OXO model that we have from Bed Bath & Beyond, I'm sure.
Looks like it's made from copper. I'm sure it's not.
It does. Yeah.
It's pretty. So they want you to buy toothbrushes, kitchen stuff, picture books because women can't read.
I was ready to think that a man was darker, but no, it's by Alexa Millardo.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe that's what she wants. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know mothers and women enough.
It's possible.
What they actually want. I don't know.
I mean, it's feasible that you wouldn't know exactly what women want.
It's
okay,
possible.
So we're not going to go into the other article, but someone here, Tammy Tyree Stopa from YouTube. I don't know if I've heard of Tammy before. Says the Karina Inster. She says Inster. I think it's Inkster, but unless Veg News typoed it, she's the No Bullshit Vegan, and she has a podcast. I'm going to look that up because I really appreciated this article and I thought it was great, busting 5 myths about veganism and strength training, and we'll get into that tomorrow because I really like the points in it. Bianca typically just buys her mom some nice bottles of liquor for Mother's Day. I mean, I'm always happy when I get a bottle of wine on Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing wrong with that, I don't think. And people are saying the ad seems like paid placement, maybe. Mr. Jeffrey, or the one we just did. Mr. Jeffrey says maybe it's Alexa's wish list. Also possible. Yeah, and that's it. And then Mr. Jeffrey finally says Crossroads, which is the vegan restaurant, I think they're in LA, has a pretty good alternative. This is to the bolognese sauce using Beyond Meat. It's a couple-hour marinara and then use balsamic roasted creminis for a meatiness. It's not quite a bolognese, but it scratches the itch. I actually can see that. I always want to get porcini mushrooms because they're in a lot of recipes. They're very supposedly woodsy and meaty, and you never find them fresh here. But you can get dried porcinis in the grocery store, a lot of grocery stores, in those little packs of dried mushrooms. They make such a difference in anything that's meant to be meaty, like paella, which is not meant to be that meaty, but I've started using those in paella, and they just add this depth of flavor that is so good. So I'm not at all surprised that
you chop them. How do you use them?
You just rehydrate them in hot water for like 30 minutes. Then you can optionally save the broth and use it after filtering it. But yeah, I just chop them up in little bits. Like they're not meant to be like a mouthfeel texture kind of mushroom. They're just there's these small things, but they just contribute a ton of flavor. Yeah. So I wanted to actually try to put that water into my vegan chorizo next time I make it to see how that goes. Because I've been so amazed at how, like I said, depth of flavor it adds. So there you go. Okay, well then that is our show today. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Thirsty Thursday. Doug, you got big plans for tonight?
Yeah, doing the same old. Going to band. We do have band practice tonight, so that'll be fun. And hoping to get a game of chess in tonight too. So
good. All right.
Hey, we got a big announcement tomorrow. Tomorrow the show's getting moved up by 30 minutes.
All right. Good. Glad you remembered that. So that means we start at 10:30.
10:30 Eastern time instead of 11. We're gonna start a little early. I have my daughter is in a kindergarten play that I am excited to attend. So we're going to get it done early so I can go to that.
Good. Your week's not getting any easier, is it? Did they just keep
It
throwing
is
stuff
not.
at you?
It is. Oh man, it's crazy. Katie's leaving town, so.
Well, maybe that'll be a nice Friday morning reprieve for you. You get to go watch a little kindergarten play.
There you
watch
go.
Watch some amateur theater.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We'll be back on Friday, tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Don't forget. And again, go out to our YouTube, youtube.com/knowingathlete. Check it out. We keep putting up these weather report, plant slants, headlines, whatever you want to call it, and they keep not really doing anything. So get on there and click that like on them or something so that we can keep doing it. We're just trying new stuff. We keep trying new stuff till we find something that works really well. Yeah, that's it. So please go do that, subscribe, like, turn on notifications, all those things on YouTube, please, to keep this party going.
Keep it going. All right. See you guys.